I'm back from my little trip, and it's normal gym time again. I'm feeling a little sore in my legs after the football game that I played the other night, which has also outlined a couple of things that I want to start working on as soon as possible. Because over the last few years, I've put on quite a lot of weight relative to the past. And this was a conscious choice, but when I used to play sports consistently, I was a good 10 kilos lighter than I am now. So for sure, I never really adapted to express power and speed at a higher body weight. Surely, getting older and heavier and not really playing reactive sports anymore is clearly a combination of reasons that can easily explain this. So, since I can't get any younger and I'm actually planning on getting a few more kilos on before I call myself satisfied, I must be getting some form of training that addresses my decreased speed and explosiveness over time. It's not like I didn't notice this in the previous few times that I've played sports with friends over the last years. It's just that now I've resolved to actually do something about it because it can't wait any longer, especially since it won't really get any better unless I specifically address this. And this is also why last summer I started delving into some jump training. First, because jumping is super fun and I missed it. And secondly, because I was aware that getting progressively heavier without doing much other than strength training was going to negatively affect my ability to be athletic in the absence of specific exposure to that kind of training. So the last time I played volleyball, I did try to grab the basketball rim and I could barely scrape it, which is about the same that I could do last year as well, if I can remember. I measured my standing reach at just under 230 centimeters, so that placed my jump at about 30 inches or so. It's not great. It's not terrible either, though, in my particular case. It means that despite not playing sports anymore and gaining an extra 10 kilos, I still managed to jump a few inches shorter than I could back then when I was lighter, when I wasn't really training jumping specifically anyways, just playing the game. In terms of what I noticed being the issues, other than generally being slower and feeling kinda less reactive, acceleration is probably the aspect I noticed the most, as the initial strides felt a bit sluggish, and of course conditioning is another one, but I knew that without playing sports it's hard to stay fit for the cardio demands of repeated quick bursts of energy, sprints and rapid changes of direction. So the good thing is that I believe all of these can be trained somewhat, even at the gym, and the stimulus will never be as specific and comprehensive than actually playing the sport, but it's very doable and it will provide even more variation and fun to the program. And of course, as the weather gets better, I will be taking advantage of the park like I did last summer, hopefully without the annoying hamstring tweak that I gave myself going to heavier Nordic curls. I still felt a bit of stiffness in my right hamstring while I played football, so that probably also was taking a part in my sluggishness on sprints. Also, the piriformis on the left side is sometimes getting annoyed by something I do, be it sitting too long at work or whatever it may be. I haven't really been able to fully get rid of it yet, but it isn't giving me grief during any sort of physical activity that doesn't involve straight leg hip flexion with relative lumbar flexion, which is basically only on hanging leg raises and on handstand kick-ups occasionally. So I will make a few changes on the plyo days mainly, by just introducing some exercises that can work more than just vertical jumping and should still be quite good on that end as well, like single leg boundings, more lateral stuff, short sprints on the turf like every minute on the minute, kind of intervals to get a bit of conditioning in as well, and I don't have to add too many things because I was already somewhat in that realm. It's just a few small tweaks. Should be fun. Ciao!